Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today on Outer Limitless Blades with a look at a couple of new EDC knives from Buck Knives. Now I have to tell you, it has been a long time since I've gotten my hands on a new Buck knife and I am very excited. These are brand new to the Buck lineup. It is the Range series of EDC knives. A couple of premium materials, couple of real nice blade shapes, and I think today we are going to find that Buck is doing a nice job introducing this Range series into their collection. And this is about the perfect opportunity where these Buck models are just about to hit the market. And so here we have the Range series Elite, and then the other one is going to be the Mini Range Pro. Both a little bit different in terms of their price point, a little bit different in terms of their construction, but right away, really nice in terms of the presentation. You can see here just a real slick look. I like the packaging, obviously, Buck branded, but the magnetized box, and just a real clean look, kind of timeless and classy. And of course, Buck coming with their forever warranty. So as we take a look at the Elite here, this is going to be the premium model, kind of at the very top of the line. Magna cut with that Boss heat treat and beautiful scales. You can see here, these aren't black. That's a real deep forest green. That is gorgeous. Now again, the 791 Elite here in Magna cut. Now at the time of this video, this is pretty much pre-release. This hasn't even come out yet, and Buck does not have all the information on their website. So I'm doing the best I can with what research is available to give you the full rundown. Now again, the Buck 791 Range Elite. The overall open length here, right around 7.88 inches. We have a closed length, and you can see here with that nice crossbar style lock. Closed length here of 4.5 inches. The blade length, and nice solid action, real smooth. But the blade length here, 3.375 inches. Nice subtle jimping over the top. Magna cut again with that Boss heat treat. Total thickness here in terms of the stock thickness, 0.09 or 2 millimeter stock thickness. Drop point design, so as you can see here, beautiful, simple. That's just your basic EDC shape. Very nice drop point design. Excellent looking thumb studs with that kind of brassy look, which I think looks fantastic next to the green anodized aluminum scales. Back to the blade, you can see this has the satin finish, so it's a nice high quality satin finish. And then it's a flat ground primary bevel down into that secondary bevel. So this is not hollow ground as you feel it. It is a flat ground primary bevel. Nice high 2/3 height saber grind, which is definitely one of my favorite. And then in terms of the handle length, 4.5 inches. That crossbar style lock, which is awesome that is introduced into this handle, which is very convenient to the ambidextrous carry. So that's awesome. That makes this literally fully ambidextrous, because if you take a look at the pocket clip, nice quality clip, deep ride, very clean in terms of the installation and the ability to rotate that around. So you can take this from the right hand side, tip up carry, to left hand side, tip up carry. So that will work out very well. The blade nicely centered, literally perfect. That tip up carry, so you can see there, centered wonderfully. Now looking down inside, you can see that this has kind of like, nested liners. They're not full length, just enough for the, lock assembly, pivot assembly, a little bit of a stability while it gets nested right inside those aluminum scales. Real clean construction over the top, and in fact, these are one-sided screws, so you can see there one-sided. This would be interesting to see how everything comes apart, if it comes apart clean. Awesome logo right on that pivot screw. Then you can see everything nicely and cleanly badged on the side of the blade. And same with the reverse side, Boss heat treat and magna cut. The overall weight here, 3.3 ounces. Again, made in the USA and carrying the Buck Forever warranty. So this here, the Elite. But now as we take a look at the Mini Range Pro, pretty much everything's going to be the same in terms of the presentation. Again, very nice. But of course, now we're getting into a mini version of the Range series, but it's also a glass-filled nylon handle material. So this is going to be another lightweight option, a little bit cheaper, but very nice nonetheless. Now as we take a look, you can see a lot of the same sort of general characteristics, just scaled down. A little bit different in terms of the textures that you're going to find on the nylon. Full enclosed back spacer, which is actually very similar to what we saw on the Elite. So as you take a look at these side by side in terms of the details and the way the scales come together, now I do have to say, a little bit cleaner on the Elite than on the Pro. On the Pro, these are just a little bit misaligned, which may have just been the assembly process. I bet you I can get these aligned, but as you take a quick look right out of the box, not the cleanest in terms of the assembly. Again, I think I can get that a little bit better aligned myself, which I will try to do. But in this case, there are a number of different variants. Here I have the gray, which I do like quite a bit. And deployment here, very smooth, real nice. Getting the blade back in, leveraging that crossbar lock. So nice, simple thumb studs. Again, a smaller blade, so this is very, very compact. Overall length here, 6.25 inches closed. That gets down to right around 3.625 inches. The blade length, 2.62 inches, which is going to be good for maybe potentially restricted areas, or if you really want to just keep things nice and tidy and compact. So that'll work out very well. Again, the blade length, 2.625 inches. The same 0.09 in terms of the blade stock thickness, or in other words, 2 millimeters. Same jimping across the top. So construction details very much the same. Now this time we're looking at 154 cm with the Boss heat treat. I do personally very much like 154 cm. I think that's a great steel, and I like that for kind of that mid-tier option. 154 cm has always treated me very, very well, so I'm a big fan. That drop point design, 2/3 height saber grind, very nicely done with that satin finish. The clip playing very well with the design being that deep ride, and a little different in terms of how this was constructed. Now you can see that does have a couple of screws, but this is still ambidextrous. They have left you with the nice mounting holes on this side, so left hand or right hand tip up carry, and that's great, where being the crossbar style lock of course plays very well to an ambidextrous knife. So Buck got this right. Made in the USA. And one last bit of information, if I am seeing things correctly, looks like we have the heat treat 59261 HRC for the 154 cm. Taking a look down inside, very similar to the Elite. You can see just a little bit of that nested liner down into the FRN handle. So pretty straightforward, extremely lightweight construction all the way around here. Now on this side, very similar. You can see the one-sided screws. Again, I would be very interested to see how this comes apart, and I will definitely be trying to loosen this up as I want to make those adjustments to the FRN scales, try to get them better lined up in general. Nice pivot assembly there. Simple badging on the side of the blade. And again, 154 cm with that Boss heat treat. The blade centered just about perfect there, about as good as you could ask for. So nicely done. Real smooth in terms of the deployment, and even for a smaller knife, You can see getting on the thumb stud, that's going to come right open. So no need for persuasion, flicking your wrist or anything like that. Now in terms of getting this shut, I am pulling that lock bar. That's going to take just a little bit of persuasion there, but not a big deal. Now in terms of the action, the geometry on this, not quite as conducive as it is on the smaller version, the Pro. I have to kind of grip a little bit just onto the pocket clip. These scales are just a little bit slick, and so it will come open fairly easy, and the blade is heavier, so it will fall shut. However, it's not quite the same geometry. As I deploy the knife, it takes just a little bit of a wrist flick there, whereas the Mini just fits perfect, and that blade flies right open. Now both of these absolutely fantastic, but what I can tell you is I would really love this Mini with the Elite features. I love the fit and finish, the overall quality and material choices that you have here on the Elite. However, there is just something so satisfying about this mini little knife. It's lightweight, compact, just fits awesome in the hand. And I'm really starting to appreciate mini knife designs, much more so since I've been carrying around the Civivi Mini Banter 2. It's just been awesome. So having these kind of nice, high quality mini folding knives has been fantastic. But either way you go, just beautiful, awesome new offerings from Buck. The range line, very, very cool. And so for me, this is really just a first look and impression of a couple of really nice blades. I'm thrilled to have Buck knives in my hands again. It's been a while. So getting a new Buck in my hands, absolutely fantastic. So to the people at Buck Knives, thank you so much for providing these for review. If you like what you see here today, do me a favor, look in the description box below where you can find your own Range Series knives or other great Buck products. And if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless family of channels. You're here today on Outer Limitless Blades, covering all these sharp and pointy things. Outer Limitless, which is my primary hiking, camping, and backpacking channel. Outer Limitless 2, which is the tactical and firearm side of things, and Outer Limitless Lights, covering headlamps, EDC lights, indoor, outdoor lighting, you name it. That's the Outer Limitless family of channels. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.